Mercedes electric vehicle, the EQE. I don't know how to say that, if they have a name for that or not. Let's take a look at their thermal management system up here in the front. Let's see what we see here. So what we see is we see one fitting over here and one fitting over here on the other side. We have two coolant systems. Here's the electric compressor right here in the middle. And if you pay real attention, everything is dark because they're all black. But if you look at all the coolant holes, these are all coolant passages here, back here, here, right here. This is glycol. You have the glycol coming down from here. Electric motor going to here. You got three ways, so you got here, here, and here, all into this one electric motor here. You have a electric motor, or actually no, you have a three-way valve. You got a three-way valve here that will turn to route the coolant in different passages when needed. You have a plate heat exchanger. You have electronic expansion valve doing your metering right here. Here's your liquid, here's your suction, here's your glycol, here's your coolant. So you have your electronic expansion valve. Now this is all ran off the one electric compressor right here. Then we get to our cabin side, and I believe this is gonna go, let's make sure I'm not sticking my foot in my mouth. Does it go back? I think it goes back there without following it. But this is the side with the heat exchanger. So here's your internal heat exchanger. If you notice how big and thick this pipe is, and if you notice that here's the high side fitting right here. That's your high side liquid fitting. But then where's the high side liquid fitting? It's missing. It's not coming out here. You have suction, but you don't have high side. For you guys who don't know how the internal heat exchangers work, drilled inside here is a passage. And you see, if you see how small, this is a little bit smaller than the size of this pipe, because basically this size pipe is traveling inside this pipe, and this small liquid line is traveling on the outside of this pipe. And there's little fins that are supporting it, giving it clearance, and then you have a larger diameter outer pipe. So this liquid continues its path to the expansion valve. So it's coming out as a liquid from the condenser. It goes through this block, it goes into internal passages that travel on the outside, and as this cold suction line returns refrigerant right here back to the compressor, the excessive heat that is in this liquid refrigerant is being picked up and absorbed by the refrigerant that is left over from the evaporator. The evaporator cools you, but the evaporator also has to cool the compressor. But they're making it do one more job. They're doing extra subcooling, and they're picking up the heat out of the liquid refrigerant, and even you could say making it colder, giving it a higher BTU capacity before it delivers it to the expansion valve. And so you have this separate system right here. And where does it go back to? Following it right here. This is part of the coolant system, not coolant system, but the refrigerant system. And I would like to be able to follow that all the way back for probably their heat pump system. I'm trying to see where it turns. And it goes out of my sight, but it really gets crowded and clogged back there with glycol coolant loop lines and refrigerant lines. And you can see, let's see, what do we got right here? Here's the high side. We got a 3-wire sensor here. It's going towards the condenser in the front heat exchanger. And we can't see where it hooks in to the front, but we can see down at the very bottom where it comes out. And actually there's two. What's that other one? You see that other one down there? You see the one on top is our liquid, but what is that one down a little bit below? So you see where my finger is right there? That's the liquid. What's that other one right there? That's a metal line that's going on the outside. Where does it go? No, we're not open over there, so I can't see where that one goes. I'd like to see one of these up in the air with all the plastic and sheet metal removed off of it. Be able to trace the lines going all the way back. But that's what the internet for. Internet is for. You could get on the internet, look up this vehicle, and probably pull up the workings of how this HVAC system works, and also possibly heat pump, and how do they cool off the batteries in this system. Is this I haven't read anything on this vehicle before. Is it a plate heat exchanger using that plate heat exchanger in the glycol to cool the back, or do they have a secondary direct expansion valve like some of the earlier B&Ws who had it on their battery packs in the back? They had a line coming all the way back feeding liquid back to another expansion valve directly connected to the hybrid high voltage battery to cool it off. 2023. This is one thing I like working about in body shops. I get to work on vehicles that are just a couple months old, that are just hitting the road now, and you guys won't see them until they're out of warranty 5 years or 7 years later. Especially one on like this here. So the future is here. You better start getting ready, because you're going to have multiple failures on multiple different systems that are all interconnected, and one will take down the whole system. See you guys later.